So the 1 second decision is, I had to live through that 1 second decision several times during this race. So this race took me 100 and some hours, okay? And this is what people don't get. For you to finish that race, even though I DNF'd, I still finished in the time. So there's a lot of pride in that. If you're 100 and some odd hours, let me use Hell Week. This is a perfect example. Hell Week's 130 hours. And 130 hours is a lot of seconds. And if you lose, let's say you win every second but one, you lost. It only takes 1 second for you to lose the whole thing. So the 1 second decision is just that. You're in a situation where life is sucking. Let's say you're in extreme cold water and your life is flashing before your eyes. Every time that wave goes over your head, your thought process is, I gotta get out of this water. And you're in Hell Week. And you're hour one of 130 hours. It's all fun and games, okay? Because at the beginning of Hell Week, the guns are going off. It's like a pep rally. So you're hyped up. And your boys are linked arms and you're getting sprayed. The instructors are yelling at you. Bombs are going off. Concussion grenades, blanks from N60s. Yeah, hoo-yah. But then what they do is they shut that shit off. They shut it off. All that hoo-yah, all that hype gets real quiet. And they march you out to that surf zone for something called surf torture. And it's that water, that Pacific Ocean is cold as shit. So no more pep rally. You're now in your head. You're linked arms with your brother beside you. You don't know if they could be there long or not. You don't care. You think about yourself. You lay back and that first wave hits you. Your mind goes straight from hour 2 all the way to hour 130. You can't process 5 days. You're in fight or flight. It's cold. I can't be cold this long. And then this is that 1 second decision comes in. You forgot every reason why you wanted to do that. You don't care about SEALs. You don't care about any of this. You don't care about fighting for your country. You don't care about that gaudy gold trident that they put on your chest. You don't care about any of that. All you want to do is go back home. You want the warmth. You may want something to eat. You want your girl to hold you. All those things of comfort are there in that 1 second. And this is where people lose. So, but what you have to do in that 1 second is hard to process information. You're in pain. Because that pain takes over and you can't think rationally. You're thinking about fight or flight, save yourself. That's not a rational thought. It's not a thought that's going to get you through hard times. Most people fail that 1 second. So what happens, what I do in that 1 second, and there's a bigger process to all this, but in that 1 second, I physically stayed in that water. Because if I get out of the water, I quit. So I physically stay in the water, but mentally, I'm on the fucking beach with the fucking instructors. And the instructors, it's cold outside, so they got these parkas on, and they're warm because they've already been through it. So now it's your turn to go through it. So mentally, I get back with them. I'm still in the water physically, but mentally, I'm back with them. I'm chilling. I got my parka on, and now I'm thinking logically because I'm warm now. Mentally, I'm warm. I've taken that 1 second. Let's not quit yet, Goggins. Let's think about your options. Where are you going to end up if you quit?
Well, the thing about it is Can't Hurt Me was, I call it your bachelor's degree. It was the very basic nuts and bolts about how to get up and stop feeling sorry for yourself. And the funny thing about it is that most people who hear me, they hear me cuss all the time. They hear me cuss, they hear me going off, carry the boats, carry the log, they hear all this hoopla. But they don't understand, man. There's a very, very, very philosophical side of David Goggins. And that's the side that book right there, Never Finished, gives them, is that that's the real me. Like what they see me in a 1 minute video when I'm hyped up. And the whole idea about that 1 minute video is that I'm trying to get you off the couch. And I don't have 10 to 20 minutes to give you some great philosophy about why we need to get off the couch. I just need to spark your ass off that couch. But when I write these books, I'm able to go deeper. I'm able to grab your attention, hold it, make you sit there and simmer on some of these thoughts. So my whole life is not some big hoopla pep rally. My whole life is about going into the dungeon and going into that area where I can go through all of it and become a philosopher. I really am a philosopher, man. A philosopher about the mind, about how far we can go. And the first book didn't do that. And I did it on purpose because no one knew David Goggins was. So I'm not going to give you never finished first because I haven't really gone out here and told you who David Goggins is. So now they knew who I was, and now I can bring it to the next level. And what's funny about that, my friend, the third book that no one's even heard about, that's almost done, it puts that book to shame. The truth is the starting line. We live in a world that's very unauthentic. So what do you stand for? What do you believe in? You know, a lot of people don't like what I say. A lot of people hate when I cuss. A lot of people hate a lot of things about me. When you find out who you are after you start living your life, don't fit in just for the sake of fitting in your life. Make sure that you have something to say it. Social media nowadays is one of the biggest forms of being fake in the world. People buy likes, people buy friends, people buy comments. Make sure in life you do what you have to, say what you have to say, and live the life you have to live. Don't walk around being a fake human being. Don't be scared to be who you are. Stay hard. We're watching people fail because we're afraid to hurt their feelings. By no means do I condone bullying, but I will say one thing. I believe in the truth and telling the truth. A lot of us have loved ones, friends, people we see every day who are gaining weight, getting out of shape, not going to school, being lazy, but we're afraid to tell them the truth. Not being bullies, we're afraid to tell the truth. One thing that changed my life was my grandfather. He told me, you're going nowhere in your life, not being anything. As bad as that hurt me, it got me to put my head out my ass. You're going to stay hard, have thick skin, and do what's right. Stay hard. A lot of us like to visit a very uncomfortable world, like living with the Lord. He visited for 30 days, an uncomfortable world. That's my lifestyle. People ask me, so why do you still do this every day? I'm 43 years old. I did 21 years in the military, and now I'm a firefighter. I'm a wildland firefighter. I don't need it. I'm good. Why do you still do this? You right now are a leader. You sit in this chair right now to thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. That's why you do it. Why you get up at 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning is because you are setting the example for others to follow. So people always go, what drives you now? What should drive you now is no more you. Like you said, I'm comfortable. I'm good. It's not about you anymore. That's right. You have to change your mindset to God gave you everything you want. It's pay time. You got to now start paying bills for the people in your mindset. So you're suffering now. Like when people say, why do you get up at 6 o'clock in the morning? So then you can come in and set the example for everybody else. I don't care what age you are or where you're at in life. The second you stop doing that, you stop growing. And therefore, you stop being back to that leader. You're growing in a comfortable world. You're allowing yourself to grow in a world that you are fine growing in. There's no real growth there. The real growth is right now, you don't want to, you know where you should go. That's why you're not there. It's that place where you wake up and you're, man, I don't want to do this today.
I'm not challenging myself physically like that.
But see, what people don't get though, the physical is what starts everything. You have to challenge yourself physically every single day of your life. And that's where the growth comes from. The growth comes from there, 100%.
Yeah, like the physical pain does something for us.
It does something for everyone. For everyone. It takes the growth in your mental aspect, in your spiritual, everything grows because you start feeling better about yourself. And not many things on the planet make you feel good about yourself like getting after it. So this morning, I'm going to go for a run with you guys. So I was taking my shirt off, and they saw my stretch marks. And one guy asked me, where the fuck you got those stretch marks from? Trying to share with this guy where all this scarring was. That was 297 pounds, insecure, head down to the gut mind. So there's a lot of scars we have on our bodies that people can see, and they tell a story. But a lot of us have scars in our brains, bad childhood, bad adulthood, whatever we're going through. Those scars in your brain, you don't talk about, we hide. Scarring is proof that our past is real. But the one thing we do is we allow it to control our lives. And we get off the log. Well, it's time to get back on the log and not have those scars define the rest of your life. Sometimes you gotta fight pain with pain. Stay hard.
In my military life, I've gone through almost every special forces unit. Once I realized that I have the ability to be with the best, I was on a hunt for the best people in the world, the best military people. That's what I thought it was at. Everybody thinks that's where it's at. One thing I found out about even the best of the best, once they go through the hard part of training and they get through the other side of the crucible, very few, not all, but very few maintain, let's say you're going through SEAL training, but very few go back there in their mind and train to that level anymore. So a lot of people's reputations, Ranger School, Bud, stuff like that, it comes from a 6-month program. Once they get through that, no one wants to live that way. That is my lifestyle.
Well, you live that way.
I live day one, week one of training every day. So this morning I woke up at 43 years old, retired from the military, went on a 10-mile run. Got done a 10-mile run, went straight to the gym, did an hour-and-a-half gym workout. I'm here right now. After I leave here, I'm gonna go home and stretch out for 2 hours. I got real sick, long story short. Stretching out has really helped out my psoas muscle. That psoas muscle attaches to your T12. So all of us who sit down like I'm sitting down right now, whenever you're in that fight or flight mode, let's say you're driving your car and the car's coming to hit you, you get that tense. So my childhood all the way up till now, it's been this squeezing. So about 6 years ago, I got to the point where I couldn't get out of bed. The docs couldn't figure anything out, nothing out with me. And I had this huge lump on the back of my head from my spine being compressed. I had these huge lumps on my hip flexor muscle, psoas area. And it's the only muscle that attaches your lower body to your upper body. And I just slowly started stretching out. I said, I'm going to probably die. The docs couldn't figure it out. I was slowly dying. It was literally collapsing. Like there was no blood flow to organs in my body from all the stress in my entire life. Started stretching out. I was on all these medications. 6 years later,
no meds.
I'm on one medication. And I was on about 17, 18 medications.